Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new Star Rail theory and speculation video. Today, I want to talk about the 4 locations that were mentioned during the 2.2 Penacony Trailblaze missions and their potential as explorable areas. Although these locations were all mentioned within Anna's dream, they each still have the potential to be our next destination on the Astral Express. Now, this video does contain spoilers for the quests listed on screen now, so if you haven't done those, you have been warned. With all that said though, let's get right into the video. Starting off this video, we have Lushaka, an oceanic world located in the Patrevia system. Suggested as a destination by Himiko, the planet's surface is composed entirely of water, leading it to be home to many aquatic races. Additionally, Lushaka is the homeworld of Misha, or the Watchmaker. In his youth, he was adopted by the seafarers Mikhail and Char, giving him the name Mikhail Char Legwork. As the water levels on the planet began to rise, seafarer Mikhail embarked on an expedition to find more land, hoping to ensure that everyone on the planet had land to settle on. With this expedition, he also would search for the source of the rising seawater. Eventually though, Misha would depart his homeworld aboard the Astral Express, joining the Nameless. Now, I want to focus on the rising seawater on this planet, as I believe that it could be the work of a Stellaron. So far, every location we have visited has been home to a Stellaron, a trend which I think will continue as the story progresses. For Lushaka, I think the story with the Stellaron could end up being a bit complicated in terms of morality. While the Stellaron initially caused the world to flood, the people of the planet have adapted and evolved. As stated earlier, many aquatic races now call this planet home, and they thrive in the water. As such, sealing the Stellaron could put these races in danger in the long run, leading to a moral dilemma. We have seen with Eurylos 6 that the events of a Stellaron don't just disappear overnight, but it could lead to trouble in the future. If the water were to recede, the aquatic races would have less space to live, and it could drastically affect their civilizations. In order to stop this future from happening, we may have to find a way to seal the Stellaron while also preserving the people of the planet. This wouldn't be easy, which may end up leading to a choice of sealing the Stellaron or saving the people from a grim future. Exploration-wise, this planet would definitely feature some underwater areas, similar to Fontaine in Genshin. Swimming would definitely work differently if it was featured in Star Rail, as this game is not as open world as Genshin. Instead of swimming, we could be introduced to underwater cities located in air bubbles, which would allow other people to visit the planet and still be able to breathe. I think this could be similar to the Gungan cities from Star Wars, allowing for smooth transitions between the air bubbles and the sea. As for the path that this planet follows, I'm thinking either the Hunt or the Abundance would fit. The Hunt would fit the determination of the people to survive the rising seawater, while the Abundance would fit their evolution and healing. Perhaps the people of the planet gain the blessings of the Abundance, allowing them to survive in the water. This blessing wouldn't come in the form of long life like the Zien show, but rather with evolution instead. If this planet does follow the Abundance, it could give us a whole new perspective on the rivalry between the Hunt and the Abundance, and how neither path is truly good or truly bad. Moving on to the next location now, we have the Agate world Melustanin, a planet of undying allure. Proposed as a destination by Welts, it was one of the first worlds to suffer from a Stellaron disaster, and it's also where Adrilla the Beauty ascended to become an Aeon. For now, let's focus on the Stellaron bit. Due to it being one of the first worlds to suffer from a Stellaron, it's unknown if that Stellaron is still active or not. Due to its current reputation as a beautiful agate world, the Stellaron crisis there may have already been solved. Of course, there would need to be some kind of event going on there for us to help solve, so perhaps the Stellaron was made inactive, but not fully sealed away. Now then, let's focus on the path of the Beauty and its Aeon, Adrilla. Due to this planet being the place where Adrilla ascended to become an Aeon, it could be of great importance to factions of the Beauty, such as the Mirror Holders and the Knights of Beauty. We have already met a Knight of Beauty in the game before, that being Agate, so perhaps he will make another appearance on Melustanin. We could also be introduced to other Nights of Beauty throughout our journey here, and perhaps even unlock the beauty as a playable path. Adding new playable paths is something that may not happen for a while, but the potential is still there. Overall though, I don't think Melustanin will be our next destination, but it could still be featured in another way. In the past, we have received expansions to the simulated universe that introduce a new path for us to follow. Perhaps Melustanin and the Beauty could be featured in a future simulated universe expansion, focusing on the Stellaron disaster of Melustanin and the rise of Adrilla the Beauty. This expansion would introduce the Beauty as a path in the simulated universe, while also giving us more information on Adrilla themselves. As for how this path could work, I think it could focus on a specific element and its effects, similar to how the Remembrance focuses on the ice element. An expansion like this could also introduce us to a new Knight of Beauty, one who is interested in working with the Herta space station to learn more about the Beauty. In my opinion, this planet would fit better as a simulated universe expansion. As much as I would love for other paths to be playable soon, that seems like something for much later on in the story. Now, the next planet on the list is Edo Star, which is nestled within a vast ion storm region. Proposed as a destination by the IPC, it contains houses of music with beautiful ancient ballads, but it is also currently under attack by the Antimatter Legion. Starting with the houses of music, they remind me of the Harmony. Considering the fact that Penacony also focused on the Harmony though, I feel like this wouldn't be the main focus of this planet. Instead, the attack on the planet by the Antimatter Legion would be far more important. The IPC's request came to us due to a decrease of distress signals coming from the planet, meaning the Antimatter Legion has likely done a lot of damage already. Of course, with the Antimatter Legion being present, a Stellaron could also be involved in a potential story on Edo Star. This would once again fit the overall theme of the Stellarons, while also allowing us to learn more about the Antimatter Legion. Now, when we arrive on this planet, we could be greeted by a desolate landscape with barely anyone around. It would seem that by the time we arrived, we would be too late to stop the Legion's invasion of the planet. Therefore, instead of focusing on the Harmony, we could focus on the Nihility. We could try so hard throughout the story to save the planet, but nothing we do would end up working. Eventually, we would think that there's nothing we could do to help in the end, which is when we would gain the blessing of the Nihility. At this moment, we could finally defeat the Antimatter Legion and save what's left of the planet, though what's left might not be much. It would be a grim story, and a reminder of how powerful the Antimatter Legion is. Moving on to the final location for today, we have Patrevia, a massive belt of glass asteroids. Suggested as a destination by Black Swan, this asteroid belt was turned to glass long ago by the Lord Ravager Zephyro. In the present day, it is known to house one of the branches of the Morning Actors troupe. Due to being visited by a Lord Ravager in the past, there could also be a Stellaron somewhere within this belt. Perhaps Zephyro could even make a return to Patrevia when we arrive, leading to them becoming a weekly boss fight. They would likely be a much harder fight than Phantilia though, as they have a passion for violent destruction. Additionally, Zephyro loves seeing the moment of total and utter destruction, meaning they would find it enjoyable to fight us in hopes of seeing our destruction. Now then, this place is also where a branch of the Morning Actors troupe is located. Although this group doesn't follow the Elation, their power does come from Aha, who thought it would be funny to give it to them. As such, meeting the Morning Actors could give us more information about Aha and the history of this group. Perhaps we could even see some masked fools here as well, such as Sampo or Sparkle. Similar to Melustanin, it could even introduce the Elation as a path for playable characters. Once again though, I think that Patrevia would be more suited to a simulated universe expansion. It would explain the history of the belts, including how Lord Ravager Zephyro turned the asteroids to glass. However, the Elation is already a path within the simulated universe, meaning this expansion could just be smaller. Alternatively, this story could tie into the expansion I mentioned earlier with Melustanin and the Beauty. That expansion would go over the rise of Adrilla the Beauty and could also tell us about some beautiful places that they visited. A glass asteroid belt does sound like a very beautiful place, so this could definitely tie into that expansion. Additionally, this expansion could give us more lore about some other Eons, including Nanook, Aha, Fuli, and more. The factions that follow these eons could also be expanded upon, such as the Lord Ravagers and the Morning Actors. Perhaps in the future I'll make a video focusing more on an expansion like this. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my thoughts on our next destination after Penacony. Each of these locations has the potential to be our next stop, and I can't wait to visit whichever one it ends up being. If you want more lore about Star Rail, I recommend my videos on Aha the Elation and the 10 Stonehearts. I would love to hear what ideas you all have for our next destination in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.